Hello, it's Elfe here and we are back on the Pioneer server. So it's been a couple of days since I made my initial video about this Perseus Lily Zandrok team, and this team became very popular on the Pioneer server. So I actually used that team from my previous video as my friendly duel defense, and a lot of people were attacking it and testing all kinds of teams against it. And in total, it was attacked over 700 times during the couple of days. It actually was able to win 700 times, but of course it lost also a decent number of times. So that means that it was probably attacked over like 1,000 times or something. But anyway, the idea is that I'll share some of the findings from having it as my defense team, and also some of the team ideas that I have for winning against this team, and just in general what I think about the team. So this is the core team. We are using Zandrok, Perseus, Lily and Ravion, and then the last spot is kind of like flexible. You can use pretty much any of the options that you see here, but of course in different situations some of the heroes might be better than the other ones. So in the end, the version that I was using was with Dunninger, and I'll explain it a little bit later as to why. But yeah, this is the core team, and then let's go into how you can win against this team. Okay, so what teams can you use to win against this defense team? Well, it's going to depend on what version of the team the defending player is using, because some of these teams will work if the defending team doesn't have Dunninger, because they rely on ultimates. But if they have Dunninger, then it's going to be quite a bit harder to win, but then usually you can win using Brutus. But okay, let's get into the teams. So this is the team 1, and you are using the combination of Pandora and Shamira. And then you just have tanky heroes like Igor and Fresto, and then you need someone to block the enemy Lily so that the Lily doesn't interrupt your Shamira, so that's why we have Niru. So this team can win against the versions that don't use Dunninger, but if they do use Dunninger, then obviously this is not going to work. Then you have this version of a Siren team with the Athalia in there. And once again, this team can work against the different versions of the team, except if they have Dunninger, this won't work. And by now you might be seeing the reason why I was using Dunninger as the 5th hero on the Perseus defense team. Yeah, then we have kind of this interesting team that uses Aliceth in combination with Daemon, and then you just have, once again, tanky heroes. So, for example, Thoran and Saida, or sometimes I was also using, instead of Saida, I was using Scarlita, and instead of Thoran, you could use Niru in some cases. And instead of Ludovic, you could use another healer like Valera, but I think this team is probably like the best performing that you see right here.
Everyone must pay a price.
protect us. That part.
And this can win against all of the versions of the defense team. So even if they have Dunninger in the team, this can win. So there is that. Yeah, then you have a Bonnie and Satrana team in combination with Igor and Saida. And this team can also win, even against the Dunninger one. It was kind of hard to figure out when it's going to win, because sometimes it definitely loses and sometimes it can win. And there is some like switching around that you can do with like Tailin, Igor, Tassi and Saida. So against some versions of the other team, you were better off using like Tassi, for example, or sometimes it was better to use Igor. But anyway, this kind of team can win, but it can also lose.
What kind of dream will we have today?
And yeah, then there are the Brutus teams, and they can definitely win against even if they have Dunninger, for example. So these are some examples of the Brutus team. Now you don't have to use this specific team. There are a lot of other teams that you can use in combination with Brutus, but just by having Brutus in the team is not going to be automatic win. You can definitely lose even with the Brutus. You still need like a decent team with him, but he makes attacking this team a lot easier.
Are you lost? Follow me. Scanning the area. Found you. I'll...
True, supreme magic!
But then let's talk about how you can defend against this specific team, because yeah, it's not going to be easy. One thing I'll say is that if they don't have Zandrok, then it's going to be easier. At least from my experience, it seems like Zandrok is quite important to this team. I guess one thing is that even if you are kind of like worried about defending against this team, for this team to work, someone has to build like multiple heroes like Zandrok, Perseus and Ravion, etc. So it's probably going to take a while building those heroes. So this is the same team that we had on the attack side of things. So if you use this as your defense team, you can win against some versions of the Perseus team. But if they just switch out the fifth hero for their own Pandora, then you will probably lose. So I would say that in general, this is not going to be like that good way of dealing with the attack team, because they can quite easily just like switch around one hero and then they should be able to win anyway. So then I was also testing the Bonnie Satrana team as a defense team. And in general, I would say that it's not probably going to work that well. Of course, this is assuming that both players have like equal level of heroes. Now, of course, if the defending team who is using like this Bonnie team has like higher Paragon heroes, then it might work. But if the teams are like equal, then the Zandrok attack team is going to win most of the time. Now, if they don't have Zandrok, then this team has like better chance of winning. And of course, if they don't have Zandrok, you could try using like Igor in the team instead of like Tassi, for example, or like Talene instead of Saida, whatever. But yeah, this is not, from my experience, going to work that well if they have Zandrok in the team. This was able to win against the rush type of team. I don't know if it works against the Dunninger version of the Perseus team. And this team can actually win against some other like common attack teams. So I'll show some of those replays as well.
Are you lost? Follow me. Evil must be judged.
The battlefield, a state of art.
May the spirits guide your path.
Bloom in silence.
Now, let's see who dares to challenge me. Bury! And then burn!
That is pretty much what I was able to kind of figure out about the team in these couple of days. It seems like it's super hard to find a team that can actually defend against this team, at least for now. It's not as good as a defense team. I mean, it can still definitely win, like we saw. It was able to win like 700 times, but yeah, there are like multiple teams that you can use to win against this as a defense team. So yeah, there is that at least, I guess. Hopefully this was helpful, and I'll see you next time. Bye!